There's a song that I have in my head. I just can't remember the name of it. I know how it goes, and I definitely remember the music video. It's of Christopher Walken in like an empty building, and he's walking around doing like this shuffle, and it's like, you can do this,
and you can blow that.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I couldn't help but think of that song and that music video after watching Game 3 of this series. Pretty much everything that I've illustrated for you here. You know how the journalists theoretically get credit for breaking things first? Think of all the storylines I laid out for you on a platter. You can sniff this, you can sniff that. A little sniff of this, a little sniff of that.
You can blow this.
Not to revisit the sweet chin board or anything. I knew there was a reason I didn't erase this right away. Probably because it's the last series and I don't need to use it again. But when you look at my determining factors of this series, you can see why the Oilers are trailing 2-1 in this series, almost 3-0 considering they were down 2 goals in Game 1. Look at the determining factors with the Pac-Man mouth headed towards the Panthers.
You can blow this.
Bobrovsky, I don't like him as much as others do, but Skinner is a true wild card. Did you see that opening goal that got that whole Game 3 started off? Flopping out of the net, miles out of position. Panthers score right away, ends up being a full beating. You remember when you guys tried to convince me? It's just crazy. Like, you probably already rushed back and deleted your comments, but don't worry. I have one person who screenshots all of them just so you can't hide in the long run. Yeah, that's right, because I know who you are.
I know who you are.
When you look at some of these determining factors, hey, that Oilers unstoppable force power play, 3 for 16 in the series, looks a little bit more stoppable all of a sudden. The Panthers' depth, who I was assured by all of your now deleted comments is the best in the NHL playoffs, was somehow better than the Panthers' depth. Lifelong cast-offs like Kasperi Kapanen, 40-year-olds like Corey Perry, and now an injured Nugent Hopkins and no Hyman. No, it's just going to be no big deal. No, the Oilers are the better. You're crazy. I can't wait to laugh at you when the Panthers are out in 5.
You can blow this. You can blow that.
Just know that everything, including a saucy, choppy rink, has been hand-delivered to you by me. But does that spell curtains for the Edmonton Oilers? No, because the same person who told you to take the Oilers in 5 before the series is now telling you it's over and the Panthers just going to destroy them. Panthers in 5, maybe 6. Do not even think to start writing them off. Like, when you talk about teams who have learned all their lessons, you know, people pointed towards the ridiculous horoscope stat that I told you about. Oh, Gretzky lost to the Islanders, beat the Detroit, beat Detroit. Now McDavid. Forget about the story or whatnot. In that rematch back-to-back, after beating them handily in the first series, the Detroit Red Wings were up 2-0. And Pittsburgh, who was a worse team than Detroit that year, won 4 of 5 games. So it can happen. All they need is one good game. And when you have players like McDavid and Draisaitl who fully no-showed in Game 3, you can expect what is just about their best possible performance, or at least best possible effort here in this Game 4. Now, is that going to be enough? I don't know. I told you before the playoffs started, when every single one of these playoff teams are playing at their absolute best, there is no team better than the Florida Panthers. And you guys are quickly learning that. Just look at the score sheet. Look at the goal scorers from Game 3. Brad Marchand, Carter Verhaeghe, Sam Reinhart, Sam Bennett. They have so many good players. The fact that Reinhart can do nothing game after game after game, now he gets going, and he is somewhat of a streaky scorer. When you combine that with all these potential Oilers issues in terms of big question marks at depth, which, as you should have always expected, is not going to continue to operate the same clip that they did beforehand. The fact that there is no Zach Hyman, and that Stuart Skinner is a major question mark. Is he going to catch a back-to-back road beating like he did in Games 1 and 2 against the LA Kings? A lot of question marks here, and I'm going to do the best I can to deliver some answers in terms of some NHL sniffs. So, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. As you know, we've had to wait another couple of days before this game started. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. It's one game in 5 days. Now, who do you think that potentially benefits? Did you come up with an answer yet? If you're going with the chalk regular answer, people are going to say the Oilers. Oh, hey, you need time to regroup, reset, reshift, refocus all those words that you absolutely don't need, and they'll try to tell you, oh, you know the Panthers want to get right back on the ice after that. The Florida Panthers are in their third straight Stanley Cup final in a row. They've essentially played 4 seasons worth of seasons in 3 seasons. How's that for some funky math? You can do this, you can do that. But they've essentially played an extra season. And if you don't think that 40, 50, 60, 40 playoff games are 100 regular season games in terms of the intensity. So the fact that this is their third straight Stanley Cup final, and they're a team who is vicious on the forecheck, an extremely exhausting brand of hockey. Who do you think all these days off benefits? Look how the Panthers did after a couple days off after their last game. Now they get another 2.5 days off to go guns blazing and continue that psycho forecheck. We know we're going to get McDavid and Draisaitl's best punch. We know the Panthers are operating at their full potential right now. This makes for a puzzle and a great potential game 4. So the first Christopher Walken point that I delivered you guys that I want to build off here in game 4 is the fact that it was Power Play 2 who came through in games 1 and 2 against the Edmonton Oilers. And I told you that, hey, look, they're going to split that time at minimum 50-50, and the Power Play 2 guys are going to get just as much opportunity as the Power Play 1 guys. And that didn't just happen, it happened and more. Frequently, the Panthers correctly started that Power Play 2 as their top unit, and Carter Verhaeghe scored a Power Play goal. So going into this next game, yes, the Power Play 1 unit scored later in that game. Worst case scenario, I think we're talking about a 50-50 split. I think if there are 4 penalties taken by the Oilers, and the Oilers should be much more disciplined in this game, by the way, considering the nightmare that was last game in terms of the penalty minutes. But let's say the Oilers take 4 penalties. Panthers have 4 power plays. You know that top unit is maybe starting off 1 or 2, and then that second unit is kicking off the other 1 or 2. So you have increased opportunity for these Power Play 2 players, all 5 players of that second unit. And then when you check the prices, and they look pretty much identical as the last game, you're seeing some incredible value with all of those Power Play 2 players. We talked about Nate Schmidt, tied for the series lead in points and the series lead in assists. However, he's still the point man on that second/first Power Play unit, and he's still giving us a plus 200 for a point. So Nate Schmidt, and I'm not just doing it because it's hitting, I'm doing it because he has that increased opportunity. He's obviously playing with confidence when you see some of these plays that he's setting up. Tape-to-tape passes, when you go back to those earlier games in the series, he's faking a shot to free Skinner. Skinner doesn't move well side to side, and that's why he's racking up so many assists. So that Nate Schmidt point, while it seems just kind of weird, if they're leaving it at plus 200 and he's essentially not quarterbacking, but he's running the point on a 1.5 power play unit, let's call it a 1.5 power play unit, then you got to like that plus 200. And also, Carter Verhaeghe, he now is part of a top line that clicked for a couple of goals. He scored in the last game, had 2 points in the last game. He's also co-tied for the series lead in points. I think it's Verhaeghe, Schmidt, and McDavid. But with Reinhart scoring and that top line finding themselves on the score sheet, and the fact that, he scored a power play goal and he's on this second unit, give me the Nate Schmidt assist with the Carter Verhaeghe point in the event that they once again hook up for a 4th straight game, the Power Play 2. So yeah, give me the Power Play 2 combo of Nate Schmidt for an assist and Carter Verhaeghe for a point. But that's not the only combo. The same combo I've been telling you about these last couple of games, ever since they moved Verhaeghe back up to that top line and they kicked Evan Rodriguez down to that second line. Him and Sam Bennett, line 2 with Tkachuk, and also play on the same power play unit, the Power Play 1.5 unit. And once again, both of them for a point, coming in at a solid plus 200. That's something that I'm happy to take once again. It's come through in every single game in this. I think it's come through in every single game in this series. Now, I'm not just saying, oh, well, it's on one of those streaks. The opportunity is there. That second unit's getting plenty of time. That second line's been generating chances every single game in this series. Who knows if Stuart Skinner's going to recover from that last game? I think those Panthers player props are once again a solid value. Give me the plus 200 point prop combo with Sam Bennett and Evan Rodriguez. Now, on the Oilers side, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I didn't know this before I filmed that last video. He was limited in practice. He was a game-time decision. He ended up playing clearly not at 100% capacity. And how do we know that? he got yanked off the top power play. Now, you could say that was just to change the momentum, give the power play a different look. Well, he got pulled off the power play. And if a guy is potentially injured or playing through an injury and they're yanking him off the top power play, give me the guy who filled in for him on power play 1 in the event that he's also filling in for him on power play 1 once again, because he was opening up shots for Evan Bouchard, and I'm talking about J.Walman, who has a bomb shot of his own. So if they go back to that power play unit, even if, okay, the first power play, they give Nugent Hopkins a shot, and if it's not working, they go right back to Walman. I think that's a good, if he's going to be on the Oilers' top power play. I know everybody's always excited to take Corey Perry. Why? Because he's on the Oilers' top power play. But honestly, he's net front on the power play. That's way less likely to get a free point other than anyone who's playing on the perimeter. And Walman would be a perimeter player on that Oilers power play. So you can give me that J.Walman point against the Florida Panthers, and let's hope that he once again is on that top power play unit. And while we're on it, if Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is worthy of a fade, but I'm scared to take his under half of a point because he's probably going to be playing with McDavid, and you play with McDavid, you'll get some opportunities put right on your stick. I will take his under 2.5 shots on goal. If he's potentially laboring and he's not on that top power play, potentially diminished chances to get some shots on goal. What did he have? 1 in the last game? I will take his under 2.5 shots on goal, which is a brutal price, but because I think the Oilers are going to have to rebound in this game, and we got Skinner letting in a bunch of goals, give me both teams to score 2+. Remember that nice one? Haven't said that one in quite a while. Maybe April, end of the season, and then the under 2.5 shots on goal for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And then just because it didn't hit last game doesn't mean I'm just going to throw them away. Oh, I got McDavid and Draisaitl. Every once in a while, you're going to get blanked. They did. And I said, as long as you show me any of those bets and plus money, I'm going to roll it out there again. Well, the Bouchard point with the McDavid assist is -105, so I'm out on that one. But I will once again go with the Leon Draisaitl with the Evan Bouchard assist. That one is still like +120 or something of that nature. And I will take that in this game 4 against the Florida Panthers. And I guess one last one. So, you really got to start digging. You really got to start picking. Sam Reinhart's the kind of player, when one finds the back of the net, posting in, he's a streaky kind of scorer. So I have 2 potential options for you. I know you're sick, I'm sick. Barkov didn't come through with that assist, although he would have been the tertiary assist on 2 of those goals. But I'm going to go with the Seth Jones assist for the same reason I went with the Nate Schmidt assist. If you have that power play and the second power play and they're getting equal time, that means there's plenty of opportunity for players on that top power play. So give me a perimeter defenseman who's most likely to touch the puck on the outskirts. So give me the Seth Jones assist with the Sam Reinhart point. You could already see it now. Jones, Barkov, one touch to Reinhart in the bumper, picks a corner, stays hot. That will be my last one for you. Give me the Seth Jones assist with the Sam Reinhart point, just in case he starts to light that lamp, because he is one of those type of scorers. When they start to drop, they really start to drop. That is what I have for you here for this game 4. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. You know what you can do? You can do this, like this video, and you can do that. Comment on this video. You can do a little bit of this. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and a little bit of that. Click the notification so you know when the most recent videos coming out. And you can definitely do this. Join the Patreon to join the other community of sniffers on there. We got chat rooms talking about 15-leg parlays that are going to be taking place in this game. They share those on there. That's where Josh puts his MLB picks. That's where I'll update this stuff. If I find anything out, if I find any news, line combination shifts, new bets that are potentially added that I didn't know about, that's all available over on the Patreon. And also, if you just want to be a supporter of this show, you want to be a minority owner, the lone sponsor, no starburst around here until you see it on the banner below. But until then, it's all you guys. So I hope to see you over there. If not, I will see you before Game 5. What's going to happen? Really? I know I gave you the 2-2, and there's definitely a chance the Oilers are going to play much better in this game. And I still think this series is going 7. I'm starting to think Panthers could win this one. Oilers throw them an absolute beating in Game 5. Then they take that momentum back into Florida with the renewed confidence like we saw last year after Game 4, then beat Florida in Florida, and then we get to a Game 7. And who's going to win that? I don't know. Go rewatch my series preview, but maybe I'll reconsider. But all of you who think it's just over because the Panthers threw them a beating, it does not work like that. Both of these teams are battle-tested. You can catch an absolute beating, flush it down the toilet, and come back. I mean, the Panthers lost 8-1 last year, ended up winning the Stanley Cup. Took them some time, but you can re-find your rhythm. We will see if it happens for the Oilers in this Game 4. I will talk to you before Game 5. Take it easy.